Welcome guys to another episode of the Daily Surveillance. Today is 18th, Thursday, the 18th of June, and let's take a look at what's going on in the world of business this morning. This is your first look at the world of business, so we're going to look at the business daily, and we're going to see what's going on. So, as per yesterday, you remember that not the housing finance, the family bank is set to enter into the National Stock Exchange, listing on the National Stock Exchange by June 23rd. Is it June 23rd or July 23rd? No. And investors eye 2 billion gain on family banks listings. At 18 shillings per share. Okay, so again, that's a good thing because more and more companies are going to be listed in the NSC, and that's a good thing because it gives a chance for Kenya's what's it called? It gives a chance for Kenya's financial sector to actually grow and more companies actually enter the stock exchange, and yeah, well, it's actually a good thing. Yeah? Treasury under a pressure to cut top pay rate to 30%. Well, looking at this, I honestly don't even know what to say because the rate at which we are being taxed is well, majority of the time you think that we eat from our resources. Treasury, no, this is totally old visual. So let's see now here. Treasury and that to cut top pay. The National Treasury has been pressured to cut top tax rate for pay as you earn to 30% to lift the burden on low income earners. Personally, I actually even think it should be 15%. They should slash it by half. I don't get why you're taxing the low income earners so much. Members of Parliament have foiled fresh attempts to increase powers of Kenya Revenue Commission General, including granting the taxman sweeping powers on asset seizure. To be honest, I don't get this whole taxing thing. There should be another way for the need to make money. Businessman Alex Dungu, director of Kentwood Address, poses at his office in Runda Mall while patrons toast during Formula One. Yeah, I guess these days the nightlife of Nairobi is not really what it used to be. It's dangerous. I guess so. People are opting for day during the day, and then you go sleep during the night so that you can go work. At the end of the day, you gotta work, man. So security agencies main gainers in 17 billion second mini budget. I don't get that. What's that? What's that? How 46-year-old family turned two cows into cheese empire. So man, there's power in doing everything with it. Like you don't necessarily have to be what's it called, an accountant or an artist. Actually, there's a time I asked the CEO of the LSC about the agricultural sector, and he was like, I hope more young people actually get into the agricultural sector because there's a big gap. There's a big gap in the agricultural sector. So that's okay. That's okay. So the Kenya Power imports record electricity as supply gap widens. We're importing electricity. What? I didn't even know that we're importing electricity. Sifa Mobilities expand its EV lineup with 10 million Toyota car. 10 million Toyota car. Sifa is Sifa in the NSC. As you can see, guys, over here, the market is still closed. The market is still closed. The market is not open. So this is news from like 10 hours ago. It started 10 to 11 hours ago. Okay. So I guess we are late, But at the end of the day, we are learning from the Kidogo. So all mutual fraud losses. Okay. So all mutual is facing fraud. So it loses 114. That's over close to $1 million. Zakim seeks 10.9 billion from KPC on pipeline project delays. Chinese firm loses bid to freeze 570 million. Ketraco push. You know, Global Fund reduces Kenya's HIV funding by 18% in transition push. What transition push? Let's check this out. Okay, so we know the treasury pressures to cut for the low income earners, MPs block fresh, the club owners, security agencies. Kenya security agencies are the biggest winner in a freshly tabled second supplementary budget for the current financial year, which proposes to raise spending by 17 to what? What? Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know this. Are there any defense security agencies that are in the what's it called, the NSC? We should check it out. Since the Kenya Power, Kenya imported a second amount of electricity for the first 3 months of 2026, as rising demand from households and businesses outpaced the growth in domestic power generation, exposing rising pressure. Okay, okay, okay. So there's a gap in the supply of electricity in our country. Very important. The Global Fund has cut by 18% to 26.4 billion over the next 3 years in its grant cycle, which runs from 2026 to 2028. So it's cut by 26%. Okay, so that's it. So one, security agencies, the 26.4 billion to 4.66 trillion. That's a massive bump. Massive bump. So that's the one thing that stood out, that the defense security agencies are going to gain. That's a big gain. That's a big gain. 4.6 trillion. That's a big gain. Uh, mhm, 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 mhm. Okay. So, like I remember yesterday, if you can see yesterday, EABB loses bid to recover 1.3 billion from Kenya Bus. Mm-hmm. So there's an EV race. If you can see from here, there's an EV race, and I don't know which company inside the NSC. Um, which company inside the NSC is actually what's it called? Econ and builds either inside the energy sector, because now there's a big gap. There's a big gap in the energy sector, and there's also now a big boost in the defense department, securities department still. So those are two things that, yeah, okay. So the two things that are new today is India imports cross 100 mark in 3 months as China tightens grip. Okay, these are commodities. Kenyan households spent 28 billion educating children abroad. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. 28 billion. Uh, 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 Technology. You have to look at technology. So there's the e-hub. Okay, so today as the 18th of June 2026. No, one, the securities spending up up by 4.6 trillion. So yeah, that's one. There's a huge energy gap. Um, Over here, in the currencies, Akon reveals a scheme to fund student rents and businesses. Okay. Kenyan household, mm, 28 billion. Kenyan households spent 27.7 billion on school-related expenses for children in schools abroad in the year 2020, in the year to May 2025, highlighting the burden families faces in the pursuit of quality education abroad. That's 28 billion. Spending 28 billion on schooling children abroad. So, yeah, Acorn rebuilds. Oh, that's a time. Okay, so Let's go to Tanzania market. So, what have we learned? What have we learned from what have I learned from the one? We have a new player in the NSC. That's the Family Bank. Um, Two, the securities agencies are getting a massive boost. Massive boost. Yeah, massive boost in terms of the what the government is willing to spend, because last year it was 26 billion, now it's 4.6 trillion. Telecom is declining, which means there's really not a huge market for telecom companies in Kenya. There's a big monopoly, which is Safaricom. There's a big supply gap in electricity. There's a huge supply gap in electricity, which needs to be filled. And then now, as you can see over here, um, people are expanding to EV, electronic vehicles. People they're they're moving their way on to electronic vehicles, which means in as much as there's a huge supply gap in electricity, and people are moving to electronic vehicles, which means that maybe these things are the ones which are causing. So is there any business opportunity there? Okay, so Abasi, let's go to Tanzania. Mixed reactions as Latra ordered daladalas. Yeah, they call them daladalas, man. I don't get it, but yeah. The citizen. This is the citizen from me. So Tanzania emerges as top in lion and buffalo populations. Good for them. Yesterday we saw that Tanzania is actually going to build a 600 billion, what's it called, steel plant in effort to boost its industrialization, which personally I think is amazing. Kenya should also go in the same route. Uh, Board Tanzania board why bank agents play indispensable functions in the local financial system. So this ones have bank agents as we have M-Pesa. Speaker summons TCRA CMSA over. This is from yesterday. Um, mhm, 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 mhm. So they're called daladalas. 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 Let's see. Market data. Let's see if there's market data over here. Mm-hmm. Oh, market data on the Nini Dar es Salaam. Oh. Okay. Download this file. Crops, oil prices, Dizeli, petroli, mafuta ya taa, dizeli, forex, ndio. Treasury bonds. Okay, now we've learned something new. You can get market data. They have the market data on here, but then you can actually get to see it. Okay, this is new news, new news, new news, new news. You get to learn something new every day. So look at this. Look at this. So Treasury bills stocks. Let's see what stocks are there in TZ. They really don't have that much, but it looks. I mean, this is amazing. I guess now we know that market data. The way board that is Bank of Africa Tanzania has welcomed the government's 62.3 trillion budget for the financial year, the 2023-2027. It's expected to stimulate business activity. So Tanzania has a 62.3 trillion budget. How will they disperse this budget? Remember, we're actually looking at news from all around. At the end of the day, we want to see what are dollar dollars. Now I know there's something called dollar dollars in Tanzania. Besides the 600 billion steel plants that they're going to that they're planning to build. Um, well, this is a transportation issue. So okay, let's see. In Uganda, this is what's going on. So Oscar Kambona, the lawyer to tax. Oscar Kambona, the lawyer, the tax community plan to respect. Okay. Has challenged tax orthodoxy, built legal institutions, and left lasting mark on Uganda's jurisprudence. Oh, that's nice. So let's see. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Good for their Yeah. So let's see. Sports magazine, business. At the end of the day, business. Even sometimes surprises me. So let's see the East African scenario. Ruto pitches Africa in a positive light as G7 back debt reforms. Mm-hmm. Tshisekedi, Congo battles Ebola surge amid distrust of health workers. Equatorial Guinea, uh business and tech. Okay, so let's go to business and tech. So, today, inside Kilombero Valley Food Basket offering steady cases of birth East African regions. And this is nice. Tanzania rewarding push for sugar self-sufficiency. How rare race for East Africans critical minerals is upending regional conservation efforts. EAC tax agencies under pressure to finance expanded budgets. Rwanda tea bloom at auctions as Kenya stockpiles on export fee. Why Tanzania is slowest in East Africa's electric mobility sprint. Yeah, in as much as we have in as much as we have this supply gap in electricity, and the EV race, the electronic vehicle race, is actually surging. We are actually in a prime position to actually better ourselves in terms of electricity supplies. This based on what's it called? So what's happening in South Africa? Let's see what's happening in South Africa. Kenya clamps down on hate speech, still the same thing. Xenophobia. Southern Africa, Central Africa, same thing. I don't know why Pope Leo is still here. West Africa, Senegal has liquidity problem but will not mortgage our sovereignty. So as you can see, Senegal, there's a struggle for power in Senegal, despite the young president being who he is. Maybe there's some external influence there, but who knows? North Africa, oh my people, oh my people, Africa, when will you ever learn? This is now how the whole world looks at us. This is the picture the whole world sees of us now. If you ever want to know why we need to become a superpower, why we need to become a superpower economically, this is why. Look, Africa command of a maritime system remains weak. How Sudan war pushed civilians, global violence levels unseen. Like this is the picture they have of us. The entire picture they have of us. This oh my people, we will rise. At the end of the day, we will rise, one way or another, we will rise. Okay, so there's war in Sudan, there's war in Ethiopia, they're using drones. I don't know who's supplying those drones, but yeah, we find the supply and find the source of conflict. So Abasi, yeah. So let's go to the Wall Street Journal. So, as you can see over here, the markets are still not open. So, it's still Apple to raise prices due to memory chip crunch. Okay. We did the math and why the iPhone 18 Pro could cost $12.99. Hey man, I guess that's a big deal. Wash overhaul how the Fed talks and keeps markets open. At the end of the day, we're trying to look for patterns here. We're not really, I'm not really trying to show you anything. Me, myself, I'm trying to learn. So every day I wake up and do this, it's like going to the gym every day. At the end of the day, there's a point where these things will be 1 hour, where we really know where to look at, to look at things, because the international markets are more compartmentalized than our local than the markets in East Africa and Africa. So as you can see over here, there's economy, central banking, there's tech, there's market and finance, there's real estate, there's personal finance. So at the end of the day, there's a point where we'll be looking at all this. We'll know how to navigate all this since it's a lot of data. So this is 7 hours ago. Let's see, so 5 hours ago when the Fed market coverage live, this is live market coverage on the Fed meetings. When are the next Fed meetings today? Musk swaps 300 million Tesla options for shares. He can vote. For shares, he can vote. So 300 million. What does that mean? What does that mean? Wash acknowledges high prices for Americans. Sequoia's Botha joins SpaceX board. Okay. Billionaire John Paulson scores victory in Puerto Rico legal fight. The IPO onslaught is forcing bankers to pick teams. This is how the stock is performing. This you can see how the stock is performing there. Hard on the street. The Medicare crisis for insurers is over. The easy gains are too. America has a credit card problem, just not the one that you think. There should be crypto news here, Sunil. I should expand to also crypto news. Don't worry. Eventually, we'll do this. We'll be doing this. We'll be doing a 1 hour segment. 1 hour segment where we look at both the international markets and we actually know what exactly we're actually looking at. So for now, we're just going to see whether there's a pattern we can actually realize. So Musk swaps, because now boosted his voting power in Tesla to 20% by turning some of his stock options into shares that he can immediately vote but can't sell until 2028. This guy is working, man. Okay, so let's go to the Financial Times. Fed official tilt towards rates rise as Kevin Wash era begins. Who's Kevin Wash? Okay, so fast. Who's Kevin Wash? Kevin Wash is the Federal Reserve's new chairman. Okay. Netanyahu and Modi, unlikely allies. What is the point of Berkshire Hathaway? How Brexit still divides British voters. China universities gain ground on UK and US in global rankings. Man, that's a good thing, man. Ships divert to different countries for fuel after Gulf conflict hits supply. Now you see, here's where Kenya now would have been a really good fit if we'd have gotten our shit together and actually put oil on the market for people to actually export, for us to export. We refine and export oil, but no. If we actually do that, people, our leaders actually get killed because international organizations have that level of power. Okay, let's go. Wall Street pushes US regulators to further ease Basel capital rules. Yo, you see some of these things. Some of these things eventually now I'll be able to find a footing. I'm getting really excited because at the end of the day, for me, I'm learning. This is my chance to learn because I've just entered into the planet of finance. So like this, some of these things I'm just learning. So if I get to pick out some of these things one by one, eventually I will be able to see a pattern because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a pattern. I'm not exactly looking for just news. I'm looking to see if there's a pattern I can find. Okay, so I guess that's it now. Let me just go and log in or see before the market actually open and see at Hussein account. Okay, so mm, mhm. So let me just actually go and log in. Yeah, you can see today's profit has gone up by because equity has gone up by 2.6%. So this profit is 37 bob. So we're here with Husini. So the next part of this segment is going to be for Husini. We're going to look at the Kenyan markets at the end of the day. Um, um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So for me, thank you for your time. We're going to actually just go look at patterns. We're going to look at patterns from all this news. We've just learned that there's an electricity gap. The EV market is actually widening, and yeah. From there now, we're going to see moving forward what to do. Stick around.